Hey Group Life Leaders, this is Greg. Wanted to take a couple of minutes just to talk to you about what's going on right now and what you have coming up in the next couple months. We're talking third way, as you know, and we are spending the next actually 7 weeks digging into third way relationships from a bunch of different perspectives. And relationships is sort of what it's all about, and this third way is sort of that, bringing God and others into all this in a way that really makes a difference. So this is important, and it is what Group Life is all about. I just need to thank you, first of all, for what you do with Group Life, because Group Life isn't just another thing we do, it is just completely essential, intrinsic to what we try to accomplish by bringing up conversations and helping build larger community on Sundays. But then what you do with it within groups is what actually allows it to make a difference in people's lives. So I as someone who's trying to craft what this community is all about, I really rely on what your leadership helps your groups doing, because this is what it's about. So a couple of things about that. It's spring, summer is right ahead of us, and groups are winding down in most cases. And what I think we want you to do is to be very mindful of this process, and don't just let your group fizzle. This is an important time for your leadership. You may not be able to get everybody together like you normally do and so on, but that doesn't mean you don't do anything. I think what is important, last week I talked a little bit about how making sure these important things in our lives help us connect with one another and the stuff that matters, rather than get between us, separating us from one another. So what are the things about group life that can help connect people with their true selves, with one another in your group and other outside, and with God? And how can you use what traction you have with people in these last weeks to do that meaningfully and help people be mindful of that as you move into the summer? Then through the summer, major transition time. What are ways that you can, again, use your leadership to pull other people in and to tie into their gifts and so on with your group, just to kind of keep some momentum going, keep the important elements of group alive for people, and be creative about that. If you want ideas, talk to other Group Life Leaders, talk to people in your group. You can talk to us on staff as well, but just try stuff and just kind of keep that spark alive throughout the summer. The big thing then, though, is the fall is coming up, and this is about change. Everything changes, right? And so what was true yesterday is not going to be true tomorrow. And group life is about growth. Jacob's Well is about growth, and growth means what was true yesterday isn't true today and will be different again tomorrow. So what I'm saying is, don't expect your groups to be the same in the fall as they are now. And that's a good thing, not a bad thing. Transition is healthy. It gives you a chance to do some things that maybe you haven't been able to do. A couple of things that come to mind for me is, who are those leaders on the horizon in your group, or maybe even outside your group, that haven't quite stepped up to leading a group yet, but maybe are ready to do that? Maybe they're going to apprentice with you. Maybe they're going to take over your group so you can do something new and something different, connect with some new people. Maybe they're just ready for some different roles and to try some things within your group. But think about those opportunities. It's a time, too, where people's schedules and their own personal needs are going to change. So some people are going to need to change some groups, and that's okay. We really do expect that there's going to be new leaders, and there are going to be new groups next fall, as well as a rearrangement of the ones that exist. So how will you and the people of your group be a part of that and see that as a natural development of the growth of that group, rather than, oh no, everything's falling apart or everything is changing? So, take that on, be mindful of it. Think about how you can do it in ways that help all of us be stronger and better together. It's also a good time, that transition gives us a time to bring a fresh dose of intentionality into our groups. I think all of us, once we get our group to a certain stage, we realize how much more there is, but it's a little awkward to impose maybe more structure or more intentionality or more openness, more vulnerability once you kind of already got going. But in the fall, when things are new, it's a real natural time to introduce some new attitudes, some new ways of being in that group that will feel natural, and and you can talk about it as a group and kind of make some, I would almost call them contracts or covenants with each other to have it be that way. Because just like we need your groups for Jacob's Well to be successful in its mission, your people and you need your group to be successful in order to get out of it what you're hoping to get out of it, and what you're wanting Jacob's Well to provide for your lives and among your families, within yourself, and in our world. So that's about it. Love to be in conversation. Keep talking about this. If you have ideas, send them our way. We want to keep this conversation going. Love to talk to you. Want to invite me to your group sometime to create a little chaos? I'm happy to do that too. So we'll see you all, and thanks so much for what you're doing.